They say we live in a post-Christian society. I reject that.
Yeah, because there's resistance, first of all, from secular Hollywood, where, for whatever reason, they'll embrace all these different religions until it comes to Christianity.
No, this is not a video talking about how campy, cheesy Christian movies are not the answer and how you need to be, as a Christian filmmaker, artistic and cinematic and pursuing art. Not that video. Today we're talking about an actual strategy that I truly believe if anyone used it, they would eventually, given the long-term goal, take over Hollywood. I'm hoping and praying that Christian filmmakers and aspiring Christian filmmakers are the ones to administer this strat so that here 10 to 15 years from now, Christian cinema is dominating theatrical release. The clip I'm about to show is from a YouTube channel that I watch very regularly. If you are someone that is trying to be a filmmaker and you have literally hardly any gear, hardly any budget, but want some real life strategies and avenues to being a professional, in the sense of you have a professional product, it could potentially even be distributed and seen on professional domains, this is the guy that I would suggest to watch. The recent feature film by a YouTuber, Iron Lung, he talks about the concept of which it was made and how it was distributed and why it was so successful. Now, if you're in the space, you have probably already heard about this movie and know what I'm talking about, but his particular perspective that he articulates, I believe, is key to what I'm going to talk about later in the video. So, cut to the clip.
This weekend, a YouTuber quietly proved something a lot of filmmakers argue about all of the time. Audience matters. Mark Fishbach, better known as Markiplier, just had the #1 movie in America on Friday with Iron Lung. No studio, no traditional marketing budget, a $3 million self-financed horror movie based on an indie video game. It made over $21 million globally on opening weekend. $9 million of that came from opening night alone. And here's the part everybody's focusing on. Markiplier has 38 million subscribers on YouTube. But that's not the lesson here. The lesson is what having an audience does. Mark expected Iron Lung to open in maybe 50 theaters. Instead, it launched in over 4,000 theaters worldwide. That doesn't happen because the film magically beat the odds. It happens because the exhibitors and the bookers recognized that the film really had an engaged audience. That audience didn't appear overnight. Mark shared the process of making this movie for the last 2 years with his community. Behind the scenes, setbacks, the progress, the work that goes into it. By the time the film came out, people didn't just want to watch it, they wanted to support it. And here's the key thing for everyone watching that doesn't have 38 million subscribers, such as filmmakers like myself. You don't need 38 million. You just need your people. 1,000 true fans can move the needle, 5,000 can change how a project is distributed, and 10,000 can make something truly profitable. Mark's success isn't proof that only massive creators win. It's proof that audience-first filmmaking works. When you bring an audience with you, you keep creative control. You reduce risk. You give your project leverage before anybody else gets involved. YouTube didn't make Iron Lung. A studio didn't make Iron Lung. An audience made Iron Lung possible. So if you're a filmmaker or a creator or somebody who's just trying to get a project off the ground, the lesson here isn't just be Markiplier. It's this. Build towards fractions of that audience, build consistently, and bring people along for the process. Because when your project is ready, you don't need to ask permission. You will already have momentum.
So basically, what we need to take away from this is that an audience cares about meaning and it cares about the creator of the product. What I see is that Christian filmmakers, and if you're in Angel Studios, this could be hard to do. They've already, attached living room known names like Kevin James to their films and McDonough and things like that. And so they kind of are doing this, but not in the way that really more independent companies can really leverage. And that is targeting Christian celebrities, but I would more so say it in the way of Christian influencers. If you're a Kingdom Story type of company, or Affirm Films, or SDG releasing, or Believe Entertainment, all the way down to you're just someone that believes in Christian cinema and has a minimal budget, or maybe plans on having a minimal budget like myself. What you could do is maybe target Christian influencers, such as people like Bryce Crawford, or any of your go-to favorite Christian YouTubers, Christian Instagram influencers that have a following and maybe are known kind of within the social atmospheres. Target those people and write a story around them, get them down, make it obviously meaningful. It's something that is uplifting the faith, but also captures the aesthetic and the audience that this individual has already created. Obviously, they have an audience, but usually it's because of their own passions, their own aesthetics, their own pathways of progressing their own stories. And so capture that in a narrative, put it in a film. You know, if you don't have any context, watch people like I just showed. Check out websites like Film Hub that allow you for free to potentially get your product on major platforms. If not, network. I'll have a networking video coming up soon after this. So if you want to catch that, subscribe, maybe like, all the jazz. But talking about how the strategies I use to network are a little 36 minute short film running and got professional distribution. But what I'm trying to say is, if these bigger independent companies, but bigger independent companies target these types of people right around them, right around their audience, and then release it in theaters, I truly believe the people group that does that will be dominating theatrical release in 10 to 15 years, and I pray and hope it's the Christian demographic. And so if you're a Christian filmmaker, please adhere to this strategy, adhere to this reasoning, because I truly believe it is a pathway to success, as we've seen with the YouTuber / filmmaker that released Iron Lung. So all these things I think are important and should be in your plan and pathway towards success in the next 5 to 10 years. So this has been JM Clips. I'm Jarrett McIntyre, one of 3 people behind this channel. And so if you want more information like this, or you want to know how we did things like shooting a short film on an iPhone and then getting professional distribution and even making a bit of a profit, not much, but a bit of one, and what our plans are for the future, / just helpful advice like this, please subscribe. We'd love to see you in the future. Go watch more movies. Have a good one.